All right, that's better. All right, welcome back, guys. Sorry for technical difficulties, but we're back, and we're gonna get this recap rolling once I send out this link. Groups, real quick. Community. All right. Let me delete this one. All right, bet. So what's up? What's up, guys? What's up? Welcome back to another Friday recap. We're gonna go over some plays that we did or did not take during the week. All right. So I'm gonna start with GJ. I didn't trade much of GU this week. GU was kind of very ranging. Like it didn't really want to go anywhere. So I just tossed that to the side and move on to another pair. But as far as GJ is concerned, all right, let's just start off on the day the week started. I believe it was the first or of course, if you guys have any pairs that you guys want me to go over, please comment it on the comment section so I can get to it. All right. Where do we start off? What was the first day of the week? What's the first day of the week? The first. All right, cool. So GJ, as you guys know, is very bullish, right? JPY is very weak at the current moment. But for this to start the week off, right, it opened at a major level. So a major resistance right here. It opened up right under it. And then obviously, as you can see, rejected off of that major level and came down to this next level of 143.000. As you can see, right, some rejecting right here, support right here. At this point, I thought it was gonna come down right here. But as you guys know, a few days ago, I sent out, actually it was yesterday, I sent out the monetary policy for the Bank of England, right? And this is the result of it. I totally forgot. Like I totally forgot to look at the NFP week news. Kind of lost bread over here, right? The spread was crazy. I was supposed to lose $10, and I lost $20 because of the volatility in the spread. So yeah, that was my mess up, but it's all good. So because I got it back when it was up here, but nonetheless, right? That's why we got to pay attention, including myself. I kind of got to slip up, but we got to pay attention to things like that. And this is the the outcome. Like if you knew this was gonna happen, you would have made breach. Like how many pips go up? Like in a day, it went up 100 pips. Not even like a day, like in an hour or two. Yeah, that was ridiculous. I can't believe it was all GBP pairs too. I'll go scan real quick. GBP USD. You see that big push up right there. GA. All right, where is it? Right here. Big push up. This went 200. So from the start in like 19 hours. 232 pips in 19 hours, which is insane. Not normal at all. So it was even a setup for a buy. Like none of these were set up for buys. So if you knew the news was coming out, then you would have made breach. But yeah, let me just go back to GJ. All right, as you can see, there was not many entries you guys could have got into because the strength was just too insane. Like it gave us like again week 2, the second week in a row, gave us no real entries at all. All right, you had to know like at this point, I was thinking about getting in, but the market was about to close, so I wasn't trying to get into it. It was way too early for me to even try to get into it. No matter how good the setup was, obviously the setup was good. Leading into London, Asian session leading into London. Like this is not like this is crazy because normally Asian session would have did this, right? It's fine that it came up here, but I was expecting a double bottom at least for anything closer to London session. And then even at the mid level, like I could even get an entry at the mid level, and now the market's about to close, so there's really no point. So yeah, there was really not much entries for GJ unless you got the sell right here. Even that I would even advise because as you can see, we're in an uptrend. So, I mean, it is under the major level, but at the same time, your TP would have been here at least. Like he was trying to go aggressive and scalp it down, right? Because I know you guys know like GJ's supposedly supposed to go up to 145 right there. It's almost there. And then, as you know, if I didn't tell you guys already, I'm expecting a counter trend. I was expecting a counter trend from the beginning of the week, but strength just took over. So hopefully we can get that counter trend going so I can actually buy it at a reasonable price because this right now is way overbought. Way overbought. Let me look at the RSI real quick too. Yeah, way overbought. So all these like at least I need 142 to come down and be retested by at least 143. But yeah, like GJ gave us no entries at all. It was crazy. That's pretty much it for GJ. Does anybody have any questions on GJ before I move on? Like GU, I can go over, but like I didn't get into GU at all this week because the strength was so even. Like USD was strong this week and GBP was strong this week, especially from that BOE news, monetary policy change, or not even change, but monetary policy statement that made it even stronger, GBP even stronger. So hopefully USD loses some strength in the near future. Probably in the beginning of March, maybe end of February, we can start to see a big push up. But like you can see here, this is a bunch of nonsense, fam. Like it's just not really tradable, not really appealing to the eye. If you did treat it as a range, I mean, I guess you could have made bread, but it's so confusing. Like there's no trend, there's nothing here. So things like this, like it's okay to walk away from. You don't have to trade the same pair every time. That's why I have a couple different options for myself, just in case some of these trades don't even work out for me. Some of these trades, don't even look good to me. So I'm not gonna force the trade on a pair that looks like nonsense. I'm just gonna go into another pair. So what I did was GU got swapped out for EU. So as you know, USD is strong this month because of seasonality reasons. Right. If you guys don't know, USD normally gets strong around this type of year in the beginning of the year. And then slowly, as the monetary policy kicks in, because the Fed already made a monetary policy to raise interest rates, so it's going to bring the USD down. All right. So once that happens, then we can start looking for buy setups. Like right here, for EU was a little bit simpler. Well, it was better than any other pair that was trading. So EU kind of had my back this week, which I'm grateful for. I went for straight sells for this pair because I'm definitely counter trending it down to 1900. As you can see right here, I have my major resistance zone marked up. Plus, there's a buy zone for myself as well. I will go more in depth with that on Sunday with our pre-market setup. But so some of the trades I got into, right? Let me just see right here. What was this in the morning? I remember I got into one in the morning and then one right in London. But as you can see, we opened a week up under this major level. Okay, better setup than GJ had. It did open up under the major level as well. But EU, as it's downtrending, a big candlestick pushing down, ripping through this 1.2100 level, right? Came up, lower high, and then 2 wicks right here. Obviously, if you dumb it down on the 15, you're gonna see several more wicks, right? Lower low, lower high situation right in the morning, right at New York session, like the beginning of New York. Okay, you could have had your entries anywhere from here over here. All right. If you did miss your entry, obviously it came back up. But at this point, I thought it was gonna just shoot down. But what time was this even? I think it was even oh yeah, it was a decent time. Yeah. But I would have waited a little bit more. I missed this entry over here. I just kept this one. I held it down. But as you can see, like this is the type of trades you want to get into. So basically, when you're going for sells, you want that big push down and then a big push up, which is a lower high. Okay. So it should the trade should look like this every time. If you want for a sell, right? So this is like the obvious play right here. It came down, lower low, came down, came back up for a lower high right under that mid level, which is a sell zone that I have right there. Right. And then I thought it was gonna keep going down, came back up. This still supported the resistance, so I just held it. And as you can see, right, you could have got into another entry right here, right on the lower high, if you wasn't feeling comfortable with this, because yeah, it was price was kind of trending up, but this saved us. But if you still thought it was gonna go up, like right here, would have been a good notification that all right, cool, it's about to go down, because it made a lower high right here, even right here, lower low, lower high, and then you could draw your resistance zone right here, and boom, sell zone right there, wick, 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 out of there. All right, another opportunity right here. Right, I think I put this as another entry for like a 0.05, like half my losses I usually use. But as you can see, the last lower low was created. The last lower low was created, came back down for a new lower low. So what you do is draw a little box around it, okay, to signify its next sell zone. All right, so this is how you get into entries multiple times, okay? This is like a really good trend. If you start to see like lower lows and lower highs being created very well, then obviously hop back in for more trades if you'd like, or just track your trade going down. So what I did was look for the last lower high. So look to the left, right? Not actually the last lower low, look to the left. As you can see, draw a little box around it to signify the zone. As it makes a new lower low, it should come up, pull back to make a lower high. Okay, right under this this sell zone. As you can see, many wicks touch it, and then it came down for another lower low. All right, so as you can see, you can still draw it across. Plenty of rejection right here, rejection. Okay, at this point, if you didn't get a lower low, right, that would have been a good indication to get out the trade, because as you can see, it's trying to push up, and as it did, it just pushed up. All right, but I think I broke even on this trade. And then I waited. I wanted it to come up all the way up here again for another entry, but nonetheless, I still left this entry in, and I'm still going down. Like this week, I tried so hard to leave my entries in. It's difficult, bro. It's gonna mess up it's not mess up your mind, but it's gonna challenge your mind. Like OD, you gotta be patient, patient, patient. But what I did was I just cut down my lot size so I can have a comfortable feel of the trade, because that's what I want to do. I want to try to hold trades on for longer periods of time to see what happens, because usually it goes more than what I expect every time I close. So that's something I'm experimenting with. But yeah, as you can see, lower low, lower high. I thought they were gonna make a lower low, another lower low, and then come back up to test out the sell zone again. Came up short, right? I don't even want to test that out right there. It's not even good. But yeah, if you want to get into this entry again, like I was looking for another entry because I got stopped out over here. I was looking for another entry to get back in, but it didn't give me my lower high. So I was looking for this. Boom, and then I push it down. So I guess strength just took over and just pushed it all the way down with no retesting, no remorse. So that's why it's very important. Not even very important, but like it's a good thing to get your first good initial entry and just try to hold it, right? And then as you go on, look for another entry to take your profit out of, and then you can just leave the first entry as you go on the trend, so you can try to catch all these pips. Because this week, right, I kind of folded. I took it out early when it got over here, but it went for 90, 100 pips this whole week. And then obviously there's more pips in these little trades right here that could have been added up. Okay. Ooh. All right. But yeah, that could have been another entry. Like if you guys are looking for something, another entry, right, just for learning purposes, we would have looked for that, a lower low to be created, lower high right back up there. And then this would have been my target, my first TP, and then obviously the next mid-level would have been my second TP. All right. So as we went down, right, there was plenty of more entries to get into. All right. I was expecting this lower, this major level to be tested out. Right. It came a little shy of it. So as you can see, I drew a little, barriers for this little range I had right here. I was still bearish on this pair. I was not trying to be a bull, right? If this was a bull situation, right, bulls would have had to wait. Bulls would have had to wait for something like this, a break of this structure right here, more so the major level. But for aggressive entry right here, if it did reject off of this, sellers would have definitely took that shot. But if it came down right here and tested this as support, because it was once resistance, so if it comes down and tested as support, then it very well could have went up. All right. So if you was not in the trade already and you try to get into this trade right here, you probably missed a trade. If you didn't want to get stuck in this little range right here. But at the end of the day, right, EU doesn't have a lot of EU has a lot of space to work with. So since it was around it, right, this is only 10 pips right here. Like normally, if it was GBP, JPY, or GU, or any other GBP pair, that would have been like 20, 30 pips right there. But since EU is like a little relaxed in pips, right, I just took my shot right here on the top level, like somewhere around here. Not even this. I was scared right here. I thought it was gonna break through, but I held it, and as you can see, it shot down. But I got into the trade somewhere around here, 6 o'clock, right? And then I took this down to the next level. So I was hoping it came over here for confirmation of this being held, but it was around it and it was just ranging out. So I just took the shot, and ended up being good for me. So as you can see, for sellers, right here would have been a nice entry right there if you didn't trust this. So I actually got back into it again. I got 2 entries, one right here and then one right here. So this is what you typically want to look for. Like this is very repetitive every time. You just gotta be patient and wait for the trade to unfold. So if you don't see what you like, then don't get in. Like simple as that. Or look for another pair. All right. But as you can see, this is what you want every time. Break of the structure right here, aka break of resistance. Break of support. Come back, makes a lower low, comes back and makes a lower high, and then we tested it as resistance, and then now you're in the trade, you're good. And what time was this too? 10 o'clock, perfect time, right? Middle of, not even the middle, like start, it was New Year's session. So 10, 11, 12, yeah, middle of New Year's session, right? Still a good entry, still New York, still a volatile pair, okay? Volatile time. So this would have been your confirmation to, stay in the trade because it made a lower low, lower high, lower low, and now it just kind of, bounced around. But if you got scared that it was gonna stop trending down, don't be, because as you can see, even though it didn't make a lower low, it didn't make a higher high either, right? So as you can see, I'm gonna get to that in a few, but it didn't make a higher high either. So this was your last higher high. Like once it gets to your higher high, like your last higher high, then you can be a little concerned, get out the trade or whatever. Where's my box at? All right, so this was the last lower high. Okay, it did not come up to that point as of yet. Right, it was still going down. I was trying to get it to this mid level right here. Kind of stopped out in profit, right, at this last lower high, but nonetheless, all right, it was not trending up yet. So if it was like this, like depending on the time, if you want to get out too, like at 12 o'clock, it slows down. So depending on the time, if you want to get out, you could. But if you want to hold your trade, for you to take profit, this is how you track your bearishness. You just make sure it doesn't get past your lower high or near your lower high. If it doesn't get past your lower high, then you're straight for that for the sell to keep going. Okay. So as you can see, it went down a little bit more. It came shy of that mid level by 2 pips. So I should have took it out. I don't know why I didn't take it out. I'm thinking like GBP, JPY or something, because usually this like space right here, like 10 pips. So I kind of forgot, got lost in the sauce, but it's all good. I made my breach though. So, I think it was like what, about 40, 30 pips. Yeah, 20 pips. It's all good. I didn't lose, bro. It's all good. But yeah, so this is how you can tell like your trade is about to reverse. As you can see right here, it reversed, right? During this time right here, EUR gave out their statements for interest rates and inflation, anything like that. I didn't get a chance to look at that, but this was the result of it. Okay, similar effect to the GBP pairs, right? But this is how you can tell like your trade is not a sell anymore, right? From a lower time frame standpoint. So as you know, that this is resistance right here. Let me go on an hour. This is resistance right there. Like I said, if it gets to your lower high, right, on a lower time frame, this was the last lower high. If it gets to your lower high, then if it don't reject that lower high, then yeah, you could be in trouble for that reversal. So just gotta be mindful of that. So it broke that last lower high, made a higher high, okay, came back, made a higher low. So this is not where you get out. You don't get out at the higher high because it's gonna come back regardless to come back and retest that for a lower low. So that's the way you can capture your profits, like secure some of your profits, going back down, right? Or if it goes back down, quickly jam your stop loss, let a last lower high just to see if it, is a false retest. Okay. Because sometimes that happens. It goes up off of volatility and then, it comes right back down and continues its trend because it was a false retest. Probably some news came out, unnecessary news that just pushed the price up for a second or a minute or how long it may have been. And then, the trend starts going in the right direction again. But in this case, it did reject and made a lower high, right? Obviously, there's a support right here, and then price push up. You could have got an entry right here for an aggressive entry. Me, I saw this, and I was like, I wasn't really feeling it. I saw it could have been a nice entry for myself, but I didn't really get into it. I wanted to wait for 2000 to get broken, and obviously it did, right? And I got in right at the major level. So I know the volatility was gonna be crazy, right? As you can see here. So once it got near here and did a little, a little up, specifying that buyers are about to buy this, then I just hop right in, right? As you can see, it went up about 40, 50 pips. All right, I folded again. It's so hard to hold trades, right? I tried to hold it until it gets right here, but time was moving so slow. I wasn't really trying to hold it. So I just got out right here at 40. So 40 pips, nothing bad. Still close to my TP, but I'm gonna try to do like for the next week. I'm just gonna try to let all my winners run. I'm just gonna let it run and see what happens because every time I get out of a trade, it always hits my TP after. I'll be so pissed. And look, it's about to hit my TP too. It's still making no lower lows and lower highs. I mean higher highs and higher lows. But yeah, that's for EU. EU is a pretty good, backup for my GU because GU was not doing nothing. So I still made my bread this week, which is good, which is always good. But yeah, now it's about to hit my take profit. As you can see, this how you take know what your take profit is. Obviously, you can base it off the mid levels and major levels. Me, usually when it hits a major level, I would take it to the next major level. But the trend started from all the way down here near the mid level. That's number one. So I just made it to the next mid level. And number two, as you can see, there's a lot of resistance right here, right? So I'm on a 4 hour maybe, right? This is still a downtrend, okay? It is not considered a uptrend. Like the market is not an uptrend yet. Price is an uptrend, but the market is not. All right. So if the market was to change and switch gears, you would have needed this for support. As you can see, this is support right here. You need to come back down for a lower high. Yeah, higher low, my fault. I get these two mixed up all the time. But you needed a higher low to get into this trade at 2000 and then possibly take it all the way up to 100 or right here, the monthly bottom that I have. It's not even a monthly no more. It's just a bottom on a higher time frame. Could take it over here. But like I said, I always take it at little levels, could 100 pips. So I'll just take it. Ooh. But yeah, as you can see right here, this was support right here. So now it's retesting as resistance. So what I'm planning to do right now, well, what time is it? In like maybe in an hour or so. All right. I'm gonna sell this right now, like in an hour, just to get a head start. For Sunday, I'm gonna try something different too. Like it's called front running. So I'll let y'all know how that goes. But I'm gonna have a little lot size, and I'll just get back into it again if it does make a lower low and lower high situation to make sure I get into another trade with the same pay. But yeah, I'm gonna have 10 pip stop loss, and I'm gonna try to get a head start for the next week. But yeah, I just need maybe on a 5 minute. This is being retested right here. Support is being held. Even though it's moving slow, it's still making high highs and high lows, as you can see. Support is being held. So if it does touch this right here, I'm not gonna sell it yet. Maybe a double top and then push it down. And then hopefully by Sunday, maybe Asian session or leading into London, I can get to another entry off that lower low. I mean, off that lower high, and then take it all the way back down to my plan that I wanted to happen this week, but it didn't. For it to come down to 1900. Yeah, this is my buying price. So obviously, not obviously, but if you guys didn't know, I'm a bull. I want to buy this pair, but I'm not gonna miss out on bread. I want to just scalp this down. I'm gonna have a tight stop loss and just scalp this down so I can, get all this pips going back down, because this is a good chunk of change right here, like $150, 150 pips. That's a good amount of pips right there. So I'll just scalp it down until I get to my buying price. Once I see what I like, maybe a double bottom, high low situation, then I'm switching my buys. I'm gonna go back to my bull mode. So I'm gonna explain more of that on Sunday for my pre-market setup. But that's for EU. Does anybody have questions for EU? Yeah. Does anybody have questions for EU before I move on? I don't think there's anything else to even talk about, to be honest. It was just EU and G-Day this week, and more so EU. Anybody have any pairs they want me to go over? Any questions? Nothing? Let me know. GJ. GJ is crazy. But yeah, for even GJ, I'm trying to sell this, kind of trend it down so I can get a better entry for a buy, because this is like luck basically. Because as you can see, like, I'm gonna get back to this too, because I got so mad. Like, I was really selling this to try to hit this so I can buy it again, and then I forgot to look at the news, bro. Oh my god, like it would have been so perfect. Like wick, and on an hour too. If you hop on the 15, real quick, it was just intertwining. Oh my god, yeah. So good though. $20 was lost because of the volatility by that 10 pip stop loss. But yeah, this is like something you wanna look for every time you're trying to sell something. Just this, like, it's very simple. Bunch of wicks, right? I usually get on the first or second wick. Especially if this is an hour, like the first wick on the hour is definitely fine, because there's multiple wicks on the 15 and even more wicks on the 5-minute, right? So yeah, I would look it down to here or here. But that's what you get. Well, that's what I get when I don't look at stuff like that. So, it's a learning experience, nothing to be mad about. But yeah, with that being said, I'm pretty much done here. If you guys don't have any questions about anything, I will, go over anything for the next week on Sunday before I hop off. No more questions? All right, cool. So I hope this guys helped you guys, try to get into entries for the next week. And then, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna get you guys on Sunday for the pre-market setup. And yeah, hit me up in the community if you guys need any help. And yeah, all right, cool. Have a good weekend, guys. I'm off this. Be safe.